Hello, this is going to be a very simple video. I want you guys to help me improve the channel. How do you want the channel to continue grow? What can I do better? Now, a few stipulations to get out of the way first. I will ignore any answers that aren't real. You know the ones are just like jokes or trolls, right? Such as delete your account. But also the ones that are, oh, well, just stop doing what you're doing and then do the popular thing. Uh, no, that's not how I work. But I do want to know how I can improve the channel in terms of editing. Maybe like the stuff that I'm playing, the stuff that I kind of like talk about, or the frequency of that. Because I've talked about it before. I do this channel because I want to, and this is my dream passion. This is what I want to do. I want to do YouTube. I want to do the sea of the internet and have the freedom of all to do what I wish, right? And to try and attain something from that. I have a great ambition to try and become as big as possible, right? Uh, and I want to try and do that as best as I can, right? Because especially in this current state of YouTube, where everybody is practically either cheating, or already have a head start in a way, right? You see people that are doing like YouTube, and they already had a head start because they had a shit ton of money, right? To buy a studio or to buy a bunch of stuff, right? And then also buy a bunch of views and buy a bunch of subscribers and so on. Or they cater towards children, and you know the ones, right? If you go to look at the front page of YouTube and it's who they usually are, you will see all of them out there that say that they're for adults, but the way that their thumbnails are made is to get clicks from children, right? I mean, you can see from like KSI, Mr. Beast. I think you can even see people like Kai Cenat and so on and so forth. Even if they say that they are for adults, clearly they don't mind the attention from children either, and people that will just click, right? And I've been very clear that my channel is supposed to be for people above the age of 18, right? I don't want any minors on here, but I cannot control if a minor is on here watching or enjoying, right? If they become a fan, I cannot stop them from doing that, right? I was a fan of The Walking Dead when I was 11, and that is a pretty hard R like show, right? So I can't really stop them. But that still doesn't stop the fact that this is the purpose. The space is supposed to be for adults and above the age of 18 or 18 and above. But yeah, and I want to be able to use this space and use this passion and ambition that I have to shoot to as high of heights as I can, right? If that means making a second channel, then I'll do it. If that means like doing streams every day, then I'll do it. If that means having to spend more time on editing, I'll do it, but I'll have to do it in my own way, because I do not want to do the hyper attentive, like quick cut editing where the editing is carrying me and not me, right? Because that's the whole purpose of this channel, is it's me carrying this channel. It is not what I am playing. It is not my skill. It is not anything like that. It is me as a person that is doing it, right? Because so many channels out there that are really big and popular, they do it, they are carried by being boring, but then, or hyper edited, right? So there's that. And then there's obviously those out there that uh and then there's obviously those out there that can kind of just cheese everything, right? But sometimes that's what you got to do, especially if you're small. If there are bigger people and bigger players out there, that are doing less than you but are doing better, you kind of have to use the same workarounds to kind of catch up and to get the advantage in your own way, right? It's like a boxing match, right? If you have to play a little bit dirty to win, as long as you don't become a piece of shit in doing so, or a sellout, or so on and so forth, that's still a win, right? You still won and you still ended up becoming better than them. Uh, so, yeah. Because I've had a lot of different ideas for videos. I've been wanting to do some commentary videos. You know, the ones like gameplay in the background and then talking about something, or rant videos of where I just fucking talk about shit. Because I mean that's what I'm doing right now. But then there's obviously other ones like doing reactions to TV shows because I really enjoy that, or just making random idea videos, like just to be kind of creative with stuff. You know, those videos out there that are kind of like essay videos, or like they take a random idea and they just talk about it. uh, Excuse me, I want to do that, right? Because I love to talk and I love doing stuff, right? And obviously there's a lot of stuff that I cannot do right now because of a lot of different things, right? There is not a lot of money coming out of YouTube right now. And that is a big thing that is holding me back from a lot of different things. And seeing as how, well, the current job market in the United States isn't entirely the best, especially where I live, not it's not particularly the easiest to find a secondary source of income while also focusing on this and not putting this, my main passion, to the sideline. And that's really what I'm talking about whenever it's about how do I improve, is just in general, right? Like, obviously, I'm not going to change myself. I'm not going to change the way that I do stuff to try and become more accessible to other people, as in like children and so on. But I do want to try and have some tips and so on. There's been a lot of people that have put in tips. Some I've ignored because I'm like, what? Dude, no, that's not what I'm about. But then there are others I saw recently. One was like, make your webcam smaller. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that does make sense because whenever I'm editing, the webcam doesn't look that big. But then whenever I go back and rewatch it, oh, it does look pretty big. Um, so there's that. And it's just kind of like little tiny things like that that I really need to hear. And seeing as how I don't get a lot of comments, I don't get a lot of engagement. I just kind of need those that are out there that see this. I kind of need that help. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other things, but I don't can't really think of anything. But that's why I'm making this video. So leave any suggestions down in the comments down below. And while you're down there, there's also my Patreon. I'm serious about the Patreon. The Patreon helps so, so much. Genuinely, right? It is insanely, insanely, insanely helpful for like keeping on the track that I am and having financial support and so on. And yeah, I mean, we just hit 500 subscribers and we need 1.5 or 1.75k watch hours now to become eligible for things like tips, memberships, and supers, right? So we got to keep going. We got to keep pushing and hustling forward. So I'll see all of you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Click.